then it's public domain information, or at least it used to be, and you could just contact them pretty fast. You could go to the directory and look up all the students whose last names start with a W, or whatever letter. You go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Just go to each, and you go snatch all the emails off each page with a piece of software. And you put them into a huge mailer and you blast them out. The program, join our program, get into it. And people start joining left or right. I teach other people how to do that same thing. Teach them how to use wildcards and directory searches to get around things, security issues and stuff. Got really good at that stuff. And people join like mad. 6,400 people I brought in out of universities. Okay, not bad, not bad. And they start clicking away. We all started earning this. Where the money was coming from that was paying me so well. All right. And so far, so good. What's the problem? The problem is this. That business will naturally have a high attrition rate because it does, people just feel like they're not getting anywhere when they're clicking away and only earning 1.7 or whatever, 0.17 cents per click. It gets pretty tiring. And the attrition rate is huge. And so you have the typical roll-up that happens in an MLM. If an MLM program does not continually evolve, it rolls up. That's because whoever's at the bottom has got to sooner or later be in the middle. You got to make sure to get people in their groups. Okay? The traditional way of saying it is underneath them, but it's a lousy way to sell a program. Never talk when you're working in an MLM about get under me. Let's get people under you. We're not trying to say you're a king, everyone else is paupers. People aren't under you and over you and all this stuff. We're not trying to create this silly sort of funny elitist hierarchy because nobody wants to join that. They don't want to feel treated like a number. What you do is say join through my link, get into our group. Use lateral phrases. There are guys upstream of you and downstream of you, but the image isn't up and down like vertical. Upstream and downstream is horizontal. There is still a separation. There's a sense of upline and downline and so forth, but really you don't want to go upline and downline. That still sounds vertical. You want to go upstream and downstream and things like that, to the left and to the right. However it is you want to make it work. Use that sort of phrasing so people don't naturally get put off. Have these psychological borders. The guy who needs to join this, who's got to teach others, doesn't want, he may be able to forgive you saying join under me, but then he does not want to go and tell 50 people to join under him because he doesn't think they want to hear it because he knows what it feels like to hear. And so there's all kinds of little strategies to doing things well. But here's the thing. The guy at the bottom, the guy most downstream or whatever, the newest fellow in to your group, if he doesn't get some signups soon, he will start to die off. Now you could bring him back around later by getting him some signups, but that becomes an exponential problem for you. You get 3 people signed up. It doesn't take you long to get them 3 each, but now you got to get 9 people. It takes you 3 times as long to get them. Now you got to get 27 people. So now you're up to 9 times as long to appease those guys as you were your first 3. And that's insane, 9 times as long. 9 times as long. What? 1 week turns into 9 weeks? Most of those guys won't even remember they joined. You get where I'm going with that? I mean, it doesn't matter how much more efficient you get at bringing people in through the door. Fact of the matter is, exponentially, you're going to run out of room instantly. I mean, every time you fall out a new level, you should cry from sadness because you see the next level that appears that needs to be filled out. So never take on all the work for everybody. It's the wrong way to go. But the fact of the matter is, here's what happens. It rolls up. The guy at the bottom complains and walks away. The guy who was just above him sees his downline walk away. He walks away. So his upline walks away. Everybody walks away. The stupid MLM rolls straight back up the ladder, all the way to the top. Nobody will continue to work it anymore if things roll up. You might have little pockets that keep trying to sort of explode groups downward, but they fizzle out and fade away pretty fast. It doesn't take long for the MLM to roll completely up to useless, completely and utterly down to just you sitting there going, gee, I even forgot I joined this thing because it's months and months later. Now, the fact of the matter is, that's how it is. So the question is, how does this model fail? On the one hand, we're taking care of supply. Bring your ads in, cheap things, and pay us a modest fee, and we'll have our 180,000 readers rated. And these guys, they're getting free money just for looking at email, and all they have to do is show other people how to get free money for looking at email. So it sounds good. Here's the problem. Everybody who's logged into the system can see their downline. Okay, they can see how it's arranged one way or another. It doesn't have to be pretty or anything. They can just see lists, pages with lists of information connecting the dots. And the problem is that the surface will say as long as these people are active, they're active readers, and they maintain their spot in the hierarchy, in the whole structure. And if they're inactive, then their people roll up. Whatever that means. If a guy has 3 people there, how do they roll up? Well, they all become parallel in, for the fellow above him, so he actually winds up having many more immediates, things like that. Okay, I can at least understand that. And so everybody rolls up. And that's good because if one of your guys got tired, then it'll roll up and maybe you make more because you make what that guy was making when he walked away, that kind of thing. That's where that idea comes from. What's the flaw? The flaw is this. They keep showing the people as active even long after they've gone inactive. Why? And so your commissions don't match. When you get paid, it's nothing like what it says in your back office you should be getting paid. You've been anticipating a check for $640 by now, and your check arrives and it's $28. And you've been busting yourself silly, but people have been getting out, but you didn't look that way to you. In your database, you saw them all listed as active. Then your check didn't match. What do you think? The moment that happens, it occurs to you, everyone else is starting to see that too. And they're going to get out soon. Now, of course, they're going to see it later because the further down the ladder you go, the newer everyone is for those guys. So they don't see this mismatch until things get, far enough spread apart for them to start to see it. So I contacted these guys that ran this company and said, what in the heck is the matter with your database? You have to clear that out because I'm losing people over this. You know what they said? They said, yes, it's something that we have to program and clear out and all this stuff. We have to catch that up in our database, but it'll take us a couple of months or whatever. We'll do that soon, which turned into a couple of months. It was all meant to procrastinate me, and that was it, just to keep me waiting. Why in the world did they hold these people as active then? I mean, it should have been nothing, a simple little SQL query. Anybody who hasn't read an email in a couple of weeks or a month, just drop them from the database. Fill everyone else up. It doesn't take months. The system was supposed to have that in place anyway. It doesn't take months. It takes a press of a button. It takes a Windows scheduler task running it once a week smoothly. It doesn't take any months of programming. So why would the company fight so hard to hold all these people as though they were active readers, even to the point where your commissions don't match and your people leave? Because here's the real thing. They sell advertisers based on their magic numbers of 108,000 readers and growing. However much it grows, it doesn't matter. It's all useless at that point. They're going to sell the advertiser. Pay us $300 for our 108,000 people to each see your mail 5 times or whatever it is. So it doesn't matter if the number's 108,000 or 210,000 because people can't really feel the difference anyway in their head. All they feel is that's a large number, 6 digits or whatever it is. Do you get it though? It says 108,000 readers, and that justifies the advertiser spending $300 when it's really more like 800 readers. 800, not 180,000. Maybe not even 800, maybe 80, which would not justify the advertiser spending $300. See where that went wrong? High attrition is and the need of the company to maintain these people as though active when they are not. Therefore, the commissions don't match. But they don't want to pay you commissions. It was all about self-inflating a number, getting true email addresses and true names into their big structure so that they can show a picture of it to this guy and show that these are the active people that have rolled up whenever it comes clear. All right, say we're not going to give you the whole list, pull the list away, unless you want to pay us, a lot more for those email addresses, because the guys are still active probably, whether they come to the system or not. But that's a different game now, isn't it? Here's a question in it. Where does the company really make their money? I'll tell you how absurd this gets. The company makes their money with their leg 3 that we haven't talked about yet. They do the most incredible stuff. You know how this goes. You sign up as an affiliate for a program, you pretty much get the full rights to everything just by extension. You're an affiliate of the program. You get a copy of the sales page, and you can run off and advertise the bejesus out of it, right? Here's what they did.